But you probably heard about that I had an accident in the garage here?
Not offhand.
No, well, it was quite a serious accident. What the Rolls was parked here, the other way round.
Yeah.
Because I had the black Jaguar here, or the E-Type here, one or the other. The Rolls there. I never had that car, so the E-Type must have been there. The black Jaguar here. This car was up here, and the Rolls was here. And the Rolls had a flat, but the tyre was going down a bit. So I got the compressor and I pumped it up, and then I thought, well, I better start the car up. And I started the car up, and it was smoking a bit on the choke. So now this is number one error. Never do this. I opened the door and put my left foot on the accelerator just to blip it, you see, and to stop it smoking, to get it off of the choke. As I got out, the gear levers on the column on the steering wheel, I accidentally knocked the car into drive, and I thought, Christ, this is, I'll better, because by then I'd hit this car up the back and I pushed it through that wall, and then I want to stop the car. Now, I didn't think about switching it off. I thought it must go into neutral, but the engine's going so fast because the car's a bit of an angle, and it was touching this wall, and the door was pushing my foot down harder on the accelerator. Now we start going backwards. Oh my God. And if you come over here, the door of the Rolls hit this spring there, and obviously push that back because it pushed it back to here, you see. Now my arm is between the window, the door window, and as the car is going back here, you see. Now the door of the Rolls hit this dent here. Now my arm is here, but the window is set back that much, just the thickness of your arm, and the door, if it had been a cheaper car, the hinge would have broken and it would have chopped my arm off, and maybe my leg, because I'm half in the car and half out. And I managed then to stop the car, and all it did, this spring here, as it went like that, it just pinched me here. But I thought, Christ, I could have lost an arm and a leg here. But by then I'd smashed this car up the back. There was stuff as you got there. I had spinners from the wheels at the top. They fell on the boot of the Jaguar, so they dented the boot of the Jag. And of course the poor old Rolls was now a bit dented. And if you look at the front of the Rolls, this is the only damage that whether you can actually see it.
The insurance picked it
They
up.
picked it up, yes.
Attached.
Yes, and this Johan Maria, he fixed this. I said, Christ, you can hardly tell the difference. I can't, we don't want a new radiator, not for this. I can't even see. I think it's this side. That side's slightly, if you run your finger along, there's a slight little dent on it.
Yeah, a little
bit. But other than that, the door didn't break.
If you weren't looking for it,
you would never know. And he then resprayed the Rolls. He touched this car up, and the Jaguar, and after.
Still make them like that.
Oh, well, see any other car, and the door of the Rolls
Saved you, basically.
It saved me, because if you see this here, that's what saved my arm. Is this? You see that? My arm was in there, and
trying to turn
that hit the spring and stopped the car. So I'm sitting here and I'm this way.
And you're in the car.
I'm in the car, half in and half out. And that, because I thought I'm going to hit the sliding gate, but this hit the, the jamb of the garage, and it didn't bugger the door up. I thought it would have dented the door or something. But, in the end, you think, if you've got a solid car, it does help, doesn't it?
I guess that's when the tank come in handy.
Well, this is right. Well, the trouble is, I have a test, I used to have a test that, like when Richard was buying a car, and I used to call it the thumb test. And if you go to any second-hand car lot, and you put your hand on this, and you put your thumb, and if that goes in, you say, then that's only thin metal, you see. Now, if you push this one, it doesn't give at all. And but of course you are paying extra gas to move all this steel along, isn't it, really?
But when you need it, you need it.
Well, this is it. I mean, how many people die on the road?
Yeah.
Is it 20,000 a year? And I think in America, it's like something like about 100,000. And that is when you think, well, a little car's all right if you're just driving around town, but if you're going out of town, I'm not sure I would want to do it in a little car, because I think they're like made out of, cigarette paper or something, aren't they, really? But of course it does come back to speed does kill.
Yeah.
And much as we like it, but all this kinetic energy has got to be absorbed somewhere, isn't it, really? And look, I know Pamela, my ex-wife, she had a Chev.
She's still driving.
Yes, but I mean, she had a head-on collision.
Like the
yes, and she was lucky. The car was built of strong metal, and the engine came through into the car and wrecked her foot as she's sitting there. But the actual car survived like a head-on collision. And it really wasn't her fault. She was at Tennant Road in Claremont, and there was no robot there. And the cars had stopped, so she goes, but she should have gone past the first car and then stopped to look. But a bloke in a combi undertook, you shouldn't do it. He was undertaking, he put his foot down, and as she went past the first car, this other car came through into a head-on collision. Then she hits a tree, and she and Richard got out of the car, but the car was... But they got out of it.
She had that old 280, didn't...
And she had the 280, and she had a few prangs in that too. But that was... a strong car also.
Solid, yeah.
Yes.
And you had the 300, which you always found was a little underpowered.
But I liked it though, and you know what? I sold that for 30,000, I think, or something. And you think, and I sold it because the engine made a noise. It was and I thought it was like a small end, a tick 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 noise. You see, so I thought, well, no, the car's done 150,000, so I'll just sell it, you see. And that's why I bought this. It was 270. And I thought, well, I better just get the car checked out. And I took it to Mercedes, and they said, no, it's not the small end, it's the timing chain. It only needs adjusting.
Oh, cool.
So I sold the car for the wrong reason.
No.
But in the end, this is a better car. And you can't keep, unless you're a farmer, you can't keep all the cars, can you? Not really.
Exactly. It's possible to fire this guy up.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'll get the key. Chinese vehicles don't have like the EU regulations. You must have strengthened doors for side swiping.
Yeah.
A lot of those Chinese ones don't have it. You know, they may have it on the driver's door, but the passenger and the rear, they don't have it.
No end cap rating.
No, so you know, you think you're buying something that ticks the boxes, but it doesn't, and they won't tell you until you have an accident, isn't it?
Rather buy a 10-year-old car. Or
Yes.
20-year-old car.
Well, there we are. Yeah.